What is going on, YouTube world? We are KRT LYFE, KRT LYFE with the Y, and we are very excited today because today we're going to be sharing with y'all some new snowboarding gear that we just tested in Park City, Utah. Turn up. Okay, what is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else out there in YouTube world? We are KRT LYFE, KRT LYFE with the Y. I'm your brother Reza, and this is your beautiful sister Kat. And in today's vlog, we will be sharing with y'all some snowboarding gear that we just that I just recently acquired. I guess we just recently acquired. I don't know. Either way, however you want to say it. Quick short backstory on this. I've been snowboarding for a little bit more than a decade now. When I initially started snowboarding, I just pretty much just went on Craigslist, bought a snowboard that had bindings on it, and started sliding down mountains. I didn't know anything about flex, about the different parts of a snowboard, about different boards, the camber. I just knew I liked going down the mountain, and that's kind of what I did. So what we have right here in front of us is my original set of bindings that came with my first snowboard. I've been riding these bindings for more than a decade now.
These are. And
they have seen better days, as you can tell. These are the Ride Beta movements, and they have pretty much seen better days, like I just said.
Yeah, they worn themselves out. This is it.
Yeah, they've been down many mountain, and they are starting to fall apart. As you can see, the straps are starting to delaminate. The ratcheting systems don't release anywhere near as good as they should. They kind of like used to take me a lot of like hitting them and pounding them to actually get my boots out. And they just generally heavy and stiff, and kind of I kind of felt like it was time for me to go get. You outgrew them. Yes, I outgrew them. My performance level of snowboarding.
Plus, the technology goes so fast forward that 10 years make a huge difference, and you haven't updated them at all.
Yes. So I did a little bit of research, and I found out that these came out 2007, 2008. So these are very old. So I got to doing some researching on the internet, and I was like, you know what? Let me find myself a good pair of bindings to replace those with. And all the people that I talked to and all the research that I said pretty much said Union makes really good bindings. So I went on the Amazon machine, and we'll put the link below.
Yes.
And I found these right here. These are the Union Flite Pro bindings. And this is a 2019-2020 model in all matte black. And number one, I love the way that this thing looks. It is a beautiful binding, and I actually tested it this past weekend in Park City, Utah, and I thought that it was performed very well. Some of the things that I really enjoy about this binding, number one, is the weight. So my original binding, we'll weigh this one for y'all first. This one weighs how much?
Let's see.
Let's zero out our weight machine.
Kitchen scale,
that's what it's called.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to put this on the kitchen scale. And this one weighs in at a whopping 1 pound, 11 ounces.
Yep.
And let's put this one right here, or wherever. And we're going to put my original bindings. Woo, boy, you can really feel the difference.
This one looks heavier even.
Looks like a tank. 2 pounds, 5 ounces. So this is almost twice as heavy as this right here. And I immediately noticed that as soon as I picked up my board and I started walking to the actual lift, I was like, oh my goodness, like my board is significantly lighter. And you don't think that, that little bit of weight means any money.
But you should, because between your board, your bindings, your gear, whatever you're wearing, because my pants are a lot heavier than your pants because they're a lot thicker. All that stuff adds up to it.
Yeah, so, it does.
Yeah, and then you have to count the conditions you're walking in. When it's a fresh powder and you're sinking all the way up to your knees, it's a lot harder.
Yeah. So any weight that you can
2
save.
2 ounces will count.
Yes, any weight that you can save while snowboarding definitely makes a huge difference. Now, there are some differences between my old set of bindings and my new set of bindings besides the weight and the aesthetics. One thing that I really noticed was the width. Now, my old bindings are a bit wider throughout the footbed, or what's it called?
The base plate.
The base plate and the heel cup. And I noticed that these Union bindings are a little bit narrower. Now, I wear a size 9-ish, 10-ish snowboarding boot. And I did notice that my snowboarding boot fit a lot more snug in the Union binding than in my old Ride bindings. So yeah, that was one of the massive things I noticed that was really, really different. This binding right here is also a lot stiffer. Now, the, what is this called?
High back.
The high back.
We just read all the proper terms, you guys, before we did the review, and then he goes, what is it called?
So the high back on the union binding is very bendy and very, very flexible. I can flex it very easily. And the high back on this one is pretty stiff. Now, this is supposed to be a park binding, and this is supposed to be an all-mountain binding. But the technology, I mean, there's almost 10-something years in technology difference between these two bindings. So this one is I mean, I think like current park bindings are way, way more flexible than this, but this one is very stiff, and it's also stiff along the base plate. As you can see, like
this base plate not moving at all.
Not moving at all.
Solid piece.
And it's all aluminum from the heel cup all the way through the base plate. This is all metal versus on the my new unions. This is this thermal molded plastic. This is plastic, and the heel cup alone is the only part that's actual aluminum.
Yes.
But it's still very, very lightweight aluminum. So I really, really like the weight difference and the difference in flex between these two bindings.
So you say this may be more park and this is maybe more all mountain. So I've read some reviews on these, and a lot of people actually use them to ride a park.
Oh, really? I mean, they have a decent amount of flex, and they're very comfortable.
So they still like them so far. From everything I've seen, nobody said that they don't fit.
Wow. See, I was thinking that this was more of a park thing because it has this metal, so it would be stronger.
Like
so if you like hit rails and stuff, it wouldn't like break.
I guess to what extent you snowboard in the park? You know what I mean? If you only kind of beginner, because this is supposedly like a beginner-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it would be a good start, and then the more tricks and the more difficult things you do, you would have to get something a lot more stiff and robust so it doesn't break. But I've noticed like a lot of people actually still use them in a park.
Yeah. So the width is a lot difference between these two. The weight is a lot difference between these two. The aesthetic is a lot difference between these two. Another thing that is very, very different is the actual release mechanisms on the actual straps. This one pops out like super, super easy, even when it's iced over and has lots of powder and like snow and stuff in it. These right here tend to hang and like even, see, I'm not even... See, I'm not making this up for the camera. These things literally would get stuck when I would be snowboarding, and I would be like, there it goes.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You need something. You just hit it one time,
and you can just pop out, and you can just jump on the lift and go back up.
Yeah.
So these would do just what y'all saw them do all the time.
But then you have to be mindful. You also have your gloves or whatever else you have on you to try to get that off.
Yeah, so that was another big problem with that, and I was actually very happy to get rid of these and move to these. So the straps are way better on these new unions that I got, and then the toe strap is also a lot better on this union.
Looks like there's also more padding right here on the actual strap.
They are a lot more comfortable as well. But
seems it has a little bit, but it isn't as much. Maybe it's just already kind of
compressed
and worn off.
The memory foam has lost its memory.
Yeah.
But so the toe strap, I also really enjoy the toe strap on this one right here. The toe strap on the union binding is much, much better. It's soft, it's pliable, and I feel like it really grips the edge of my boot a lot better than the my old bindings did. And once again, it's very easy to strap yourself in and strap yourself out. I know that you were saying that a lot of people found this strap kind of cumbersome.
Yeah, because it's very flexible. It's rubber, so it has no curve to it. So you have to literally manually curve it and then strap yourself in. So I've read about a couple of complaints that people said, I wish they would have molded it a little bit better at the manufacturing.
Right.
So it would be, faster way to get in, I guess, instead of you try to line it up as much.
Now, I didn't find that to be much of a problem after I got used to them, after my second, time getting on the lift. But other than that, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, they're a little bit different from my other ones. And it didn't really make much of a difference to me because I was more happy that I could finally just, come out of my boots really, really fast. But these are also very, very adjustable. You can adjust the toe strap under here before you actually mount these to your snowboard. You can adjust them further, I guess, forward so you can get more on the edge of your boot, or you can adjust them back so you can go more on the top of your boot depending on what's more comfortable for you. I tend to be a forward over the edge of my boot type of person. You can also adjust the heel cup. You can adjust the top strap. Everything on this boot is very, very just adjustable, user-friendly. It is compatible with 4x4, 4x2, and Burton-style snowboards. And yeah, it pretty much works with pretty much any gear that is out there, and the aesthetic is very nice. Is there anything else that we want to say about this?
So these come in different colors too. Like speaking of aesthetic, like you got the the matte black, but I know there is this turquoise color which I absolutely love, and I think that would be one I pick, either that one or black and white, because I like something brighter.
That's what I almost got. Was
yeah, and then I think there's a fourth color, and I can't remember which one. But they do look very nice and clean, and it's just they look great on the snowboards for sure.
Yep. So I love these. You can get them on Amazon.com. They are the Union Flite Pro snowboarding bindings. If you click the link below, you can just cop them right now.
This isn't sponsored, you guys.
Yeah, not sponsored. Video. This is just my personal experience going from some really, really old, vintage, antiquated bindings to some of the top 2019, 2020 bindings that you can get in the snowboarding industry.
What about the price point? What do you want?
Oh, so the price point. So these were about $150. And from what I saw, that was pretty decent price. That's kind of on the lower end because bindings can obviously get a lot more expensive. But I didn't want to spend,
you're a recreational snowboarder. It's not like, you do it for competing or anything like this. Just to do it for fun every winter a few times.
Yeah, this works perfectly fine for me.
They're probably going to last you a long time.
Probably last me another 10 years. So, all right. We are KRT LYFE, KRT LYFE with the Y. Like, subscribe, comment, all that cool stuff. Hope this video helps you guys make a decision on these snowboarding bindings that work for you. If you do go with Union, I don't think you will be disappointed, especially if you're going from something like that or rental stuff. All right, y'all. We're out. Peace.